I love that Greg started off by saying this, you guys. You guys got to hear this. And we want to send our love and prayers to the ones affected from the hurricane and what's going on right now on the East Coast. We send our love, our prayers, and our condolences out to the ones who have lost loved ones.
Know when it is appropriate for you to come. And same goes for Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, all of it.
Tennessee also, and South Carolina had several people die as well. Greg, last word to you before the next block.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say. I mean, I'm not crazy about framing the hurricane in any kind of political way.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need a crisis to reveal whatever shortcomings there are in leadership. We know what's on both sides at this point. It depends on who is president at the time, the level of outcry you will see. If it happens to be a Republican, the media will be up in arms. But in reality, you can never get there in time. So everybody's going to be critical. And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to pay some credit to the media.
I bet you she blamed Trump for the hurricane. And then she says they will show up when appropriate. You just can't make this stuff up, man. You just can't. Welcome to the show, y'all. Hope everybody is blessed, well, healthy, and that nothing but the best is going on in all you beautiful people's life in this corrupt scam of a matrix that we are living in, man. Dark times. We're living in the biggest history yet, man. You know? Do you see what's going on around you? Man, check on your loved ones. Call them, text them, give them a hug for me. Check on your people, man. It's crazy right now. I want to send my love and prayers out to you guys and your family. To the ones dealing with the hurricane. Just to everybody, man. Because you don't know what anybody is going through right now. You really don't. And millions are struggling and dying right now. Dropping like flies. Prayers for Trump in the comment section. Because we don't know what to expect next, man. Prayers for Trump, you guys. They don't want him here. You know. They don't want common sense back. You know. He has his money his foot in the money supply. He wants no wars. They hate that. Prayers for Trump, man. Y'all see Trump's hurricane, his response to this hurricane and what's taking place right now, what's going on. And they still find a way to bash him. But he's out there. He's donating, he's fundraising, he's out there. They hate it. And even CNN just came out and admitted. Is Trump the sitting president? Is Trump the sitting president? You can't make this up, y'all. And before we get into the show, I want to just show y'all. I want to just show everybody what's actually going on. Because this is man. You can't make this stuff up, you guys.
Treated not just as a former president, but almost as though he is a sitting president. As Boris, you just noted, getting a briefing from FEMA, getting a briefing from the National Guard. That is not something that is typically just offered to a candidate. They are treating him as though he is a former president who is there to help. And one thing that I had noticed earlier during our 1 p.m. conversation was that Donald Trump did not have that much to offer in terms of resources since he is not a sitting president. But I will note that he and the campaign say that they have arrived in that area with trucks full of supplies that they plan on giving out. So there is something there for them to offer. He also said that he had a tanker truck full of gasoline, which obviously, if you've ever covered one of these storms, you understand that one of the first things and hardest things to come by is gasoline. So he said that he was going to be giving that out. He is clearly taking this seriously as a politician is on the ground, trying to show that he is there in support of the people on the ground in Georgia.
And I'm pretty sure y'all seen everything, all the footage we've shown y'all, the fundraising he's doing, you know. But again, they're gonna still try to find a way to spin it in again wipe Trump's name through the mud and his running mate, J.D. Vance. Yeah. Yep. But it is absolutely crazy right now. And missiles are being shot. But anyways, let's get into it, you guys. This whole take on the 5, a couple y'all sent this to me. And again, we already know how it's going to go, man. Trump deranged syndrome Jessica. Stage 4 Jessica. When you got TDS stage 4, boy. But I also want to see what the 5 was talking about on this whole hurricane situation, man. It gets real around this table. And this is one reason why we love putting the 5 on the channel. It gets real around this table, man. You know. And CNN, MSNBC, ABC, you know, networks, the woke media, you know, they've lost all credibility. You know, we're sick of the fake news, the bias reporting, how they take small clips, spin things, you know, fake, false headlines. They're going to continue to wipe this ticket through the mud. And they just playing in front of everybody's faces. But we, the people, know what's going on. We know how corrupt it is.
Okay, that was Vice President Kamala Harris. She's at FEMA headquarters, giving some comfort to people that are suffering right now in the vast region that's been affected by the hurricane. She didn't take questions. Well, there were some shouted. Doesn't look like she's going to do that. So we'll take it around the table here. Jesse, I'll start with you and thoughts for the folks there and about what this means in the campaign.
Better than the last hurricane, she said the recovery has to be focused on equity. So we were making progress, Dana, but she should have been in North Carolina. The governor's a Democrat there. He would have teed her up. She would have been hugging. She would have been promising billions of dollars. She would have been wearing her boots and her bomber jacket. That's what Americans want to see a leader do at this time. You have to frame this up properly. Trump's in Georgia, you need to be in North Carolina. You have to show the American voter what a Harris presidency would look like. And every time she's given that opportunity, she's a no-show. Remember, she had the Zelensky deal where they just said something off a script and then she just ran out of the room. She no-showed the Al Smith dinner. She's no-showed press conferences. She's just no-showing these events. It's not a good look for her. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is down there looking and occupying the presidential space. He is saying the right things. He's delivering goods and services. He's even calling on Elon Musk to restore the internet. And if you think about what he was doing also, he was just at the game, Alabama, Georgia. So he's in Georgia today. He was at the Alabama, Georgia game. That's 3 straight days. He's dominating the local Georgia media market with very positive coverage. And you remember how Donald Trump closes. This guy closes strong. Remember the last 2 campaigns. He's gone from 1 to 2, sometimes 3 events a day.
A day.
And now he's hitting more of a full spectrum than he was in the last couple of campaigns. He's doing these bro podcasts. He's going UFC. He's going college football. He's doing town halls, which we haven't seen him do. He's doing Fox, he's doing press conferences. She's not doing that. She is getting out hustled. She's getting outclassed. She's getting outworked. And when they ask in these polls, which candidate cares more about people like you, he's completely closed the gap. Now, as a Republican, especially as Donald Trump, caring more about people like you, I'm not saying he's winning, but he's right there, Jessica. What I recommend her doing is maybe you get a little paper towel like this, like he did in Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm. That's what the people want. Mm-hmm. Give the people what they want.
Judge, I think that Roy Cooper, the governor of North Carolina, asked them both not to come right now, but she could have gone to Atlanta as a good stronghold for her.
Look, I can't help but think that it's because she's running for president, because she was embarrassed. They made an issue about this. She didn't let it get in her way this weekend when she was campaigning in California. She said she cut her trip short so that she could be read in on what was going on, just like Joe Biden went to the beach. Look, this storm made landfall Thursday. Biden goes to the beach the next day, and she's just campaigning. She was embarrassed into this thing today.
At the beach.
Trump was in Georgia with Samantha's purse, with all kinds of supplies. Trump has done the same thing. Barack Obama, when Sandy hit in 2012, Barack Obama was here in 48 hours. This is what leaders do. And in the end, this is what Trump has done. Trump was there first. He endears this sense of confidence. He's going to fight for us. And we've seen this is a pattern of behavior by Biden and by Harris, where whether it's Maui, where they give $700 to each resident, but if it's Ukraine, they're on the ground with another $10 billion, whatever they need. East Palestine, who's there? Donald Trump with pizza and water. They show up a year later. This is about leadership. It's not about being embarrassed into having to show up somewhere. And, congratulations, you went to FEMA. You've got to go to the people. You've got to go to the people who can't see this. Because I've been in a flood. We lost our house in a flood. We thought there was no future. We didn't have insurance. We lost everything. You rely on the Red Cross for food, the Army Corps of Engineers to make sure that you can drive and that you can go across the bridge. I mean, there's so much more than going to FEMA and making a political statement.
Jessica, how do you see it?
Oh, boy.
Dramatically differently from how my colleagues see it. So just a couple notes. Trump closes strong in Georgia. He lost Georgia. So I guess if someone had found him 11.
Here we go. Trump lost. Trump's gonna lose Georgia. I mean, this is the crap, man. This is the Trump derangement crap we be talking about, man. She is so Trump deranged. Joe's on a beach, then dropped his snow cone all in the sand. But we send billions over there. Billions. $81 million votes. But she is so Trump deranged. Just look at this response. This is ridiculous, man. Get her off the show.
1,237 votes, it would have gone better, but he's a loser there.
I meant by
campaign
activity.
Oh, he shows up a lot and people see him and then they vote against him. Starlink, there are 40 satellites that are already going. Okay. In Maui, by the way, the $700 was the FEMA limit. So Donald Trump and his supporters are running the same old tired playbook that they did with Maui and they did with East Palestine. So not only was
same old tired playbook.
Joe Biden on top of this, he signed the disaster declarations even before the storms hit to make sure that there would be no delay in goods and services. Donald Trump's social media posts contain blatant lies, like Governor Kemp can't reach the president. Governor Kemp gave a press conference yesterday where he said, I just spoke to the president. He has promised me every single thing that I need. McMaster from South Carolina, also a conservative, getting everything that he wants, and then Roy Cooper as well. And there's only one president that we are talking about who actually has denied relief for one of these states. In 2017, Roy Cooper asked after Hurricane Matthew for a lot of money, and he got 1% of his ask. They denied 99% of what he was asking for after that hurricane came. There are 3,300 FEMA personnel there, 5,500 National Guardsmen from 11 states, and search and rescue from 19 states. That doesn't reduce the devastation of this and how horrific it is. But to say that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are out to lunch during this, or they're sitting on a beach reclining there, they are clearly giving them what they need. They will be showing up when it is appropriate. And it's different for Donald Trump, who is...
They will be showing up when it's appropriate. They will be showing up as when it's appropriate. That's what she just said, y'all. I want my tax dollars back. I want every last dime back. I pray we all just start striking. And we all just start striking. You see the porch, right? We just start striking everything. We just stop paying bills. We just stop paying everything. I pray we all just start striking, man. that we strike the IRS, that we just strike everything in this corrupt scam of a matrix.
Is not in office. He's just a guy trying to be president again to show up and throw some bounty at people versus someone who's actually the commander in chief and doesn't want to distract from what's going on. And as Dana said, Governor Cooper said, I will let you know when it is appropriate for you to come. And same goes for Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, all of it.
Tennessee also, in South Carolina had several people die as well. Greg, last word to you before the next block.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say. I mean, I'm not crazy about framing the hurricane in any kind of political way.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need a crisis to reveal whatever shortcomings there are in leadership. We know what's on both sides at this point.
Yep.
It depends on who is
Thank you. I love that. I love that Greg started off with that, man. I love that he started off with that, bro.
president at the time, the level of outcry you will see. If it happens to be a Republican, the media will be up in arms. But in reality, you can never get there in time. Mm-hmm. So everybody's going to be critical. And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to pay some credit to the media, because I think this is the first, and I don't say this is a bright side to a disaster, because a disaster is horrible, but from somebody who looks at the media, this is really the first time that the climate change narrative has fizzled. It used to be instantaneously. A horrible thing would happen, and everybody would blame it on man-made climate change. And I think it goes down to people like Bjorn Lomborg. You know, these are people that have tirelessly pointed out the facts. You know, this is an interesting fact. The U.S. population has risen fourfold since 1940. But it has risen 50-fold in coastal areas. So a hurricane that you might have hit in 1940 would hit 800,000 homes, now hits 11 million. So when you adjust for wealth and population, the hurricane damage has not increased over the past 100 years. And the total hurricane energy has actually decreased since 1980. So it's at least there's some progress in the way we report these things. But politically, we will never change.
And she didn't mention it either.
No, she didn't. And I think I think we have turned a corner in the climate change narrative, because so many people have wised up on the climate models being inaccurate, and reading and understanding the research, and also looking now towards how we demonize our mainstream energy sources, and now with nuclear coming along.
Before I hand it over to the judge, they just told me in my ear, Joe Biden, the president, said that he will go to North Carolina this Wednesday. So tomorrow's Tuesday, and then Wednesday. And that's it for me.
Interesting. All right.
Dropped his snow cone all on the floor. A cheap fake, a deep fake.